Hey everybody, Ace Channel Liam here, and today I'm continuing my series where I go through the 18 Pokemon types and list my top 10 favorites of each type. I'm going to try not to waffle too much in the intro because I know you're just itching to get into the list and you don't need that extra spiel of the flying type has been in every generation. If you're already a fan of my channel and you know you're going to enjoy this brand new content, make sure you hit the like button to show that you're enjoying it, and of course hit subscribe if you're new because you might enjoy this and you might not want to miss the next video. Let's get into ranking. God, just one of the worst Pokemon types. It's time for the Ice-type Pokemon. And here's my top 10. Number 10, Avalugg. Everyone's favourite coffee table. It's beautiful. Although really, I wouldn't use a giant slab of ice as a coffee table because stuff would just slide off it and you don't want to be spilling coffee. Plus you'd probably kill Avalugg if it spilled coffee on it. What am I talking about? We're literally a minute into this video and I've already derailed it. But in terms of why I like Avalugg, I love the physical bulk behind it. It's absolutely defensively disgusting. Granted, it does pay for that by having terrible special defense, so a flamethrower just absolutely melts it, but that makes sense. It's made of ice. And coffee table jokes aside, I do love its design. Like, it's based off a glacier, it looks like a glacier, and it looks terrifying. I know we like to make jokes and stuff about it looking like a table and all that, but imagine if that thing came stomping up towards you. I mean, it's slow, so you'd run away dead quick, but still, you'd be scared, and that's why you'd be running away. Overall, Avalugg's not a bad Pokemon. Avalugg's a Pokemon that just needs some love, and I like it. So, we're getting there. Number 9, Aurorus. Another Gen 6 Pokemon because I absolutely love Gen 6. Don't get me wrong, it's not my favorite gen. My favorite gen is Gen 4, but Gen 6 is definitely up there because what a Pokedex it has. Like, it just has such a good selection of Pokemon in it, and Aurorus is no exception. Ignoring the fact that it's a rock and ice type, which means that fighting type moves will absolutely smash it, steel type moves will penetrate it. Why did I choose the word penetrate? It's been a long day. But as Ice-type Pokemon go, this is a wonderful addition to the roster. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's such a simple design. It's a dinosaur that is themed around Aurora Borealis. Super duper simple concept, and they achieve it so perfectly. Aurorus is a Pokemon that is majestic, and it knows it. Number 8, Cloyster. Oh look, it's Cloyster. Let's make original vagina jokes. No, I'm not going to be making the vagina jokes. I'm going to make the joke that Cloyster kind of looks like a bum hole in the middle of a bum crack. And it looks like the angry little Cloyster face is an angry little piece of poo that just won't quite leave, even though you're in freaking agony. And it's just like, I know I'm hurting you, but I ain't going anywhere, buddy. That's what Cloyster looks like. But unfortunate appearance aside, Cloyster's great. It's another defensively great Pokemon. It gets the Skill Link ability, so it can blam you with Rock Blast. It can use Icicle Spear to absolutely destroy things. It's a really fun Pokemon to use. The only thing that really keeps it low down in this list is the fact that it's kind of predictable. It's predictable because you kind of expect when a Cloyster turns up, it's going to be Skill Link, so you kind of know how you're going to avoid being taken down by Cloyster. And at the same time, it's predictable because when you see it, you know what jokes are going to be made. Although you didn't today. Number 7, Mamoswine. Apart from being weirdly cute in a kind of very peculiar, obscure way, Mamoswine's an actual beast, no pun intended. It can hit super hard and it can certainly take some punishment with that HP stat, although its defenses are fairly low, but the HP kind of balances it out. And the ice and ground typing is a little bit more versatile than some of the other ice types. It certainly gives Mamoswine a very specific place to be in battle. Not to mention it gets Thick Fat, which is a great ability because it reduces the damage taken from ice and fire type moves, and of course, fire type moves are a little bit of a problem for Mamoswine. And above all, mammoths are just really cool anyway. They're really cool creatures. Go to the Natural History Museum. It's full of mammoth skeletons and they're huge and they're really cool, and you kind of look at it like, wow, I'd really love to ride one of those. Wouldn't that be a cool thing to kind of travel around on? And of course, in Pokemon X and Y, you can ride a Mamoswine. It's wonderful. Number 6, Glaceon. I feel like Glaceon's an evolution that doesn't get enough praise sometimes because it's got great special attack. Unfortunately, it's an ice type, and doesn't that just suck? From a design perspective, Glaceon's fine. You can tell it's an ice type by looking at it. Not too sure on the bangs though, but whatever hairstyle you want, Glaceon, you go for it, mate. But it certainly does the part of looking a little bit frosty, a little bit cool, and certainly I can't really fault its design too much. And as I say, it's got great special attack. It can take a decent amount of special hits as well. It's just the typing that I have a problem with. Pure Ice is just not a good typing to have. But having said all that, I do love a good Glaceon. I don't know whether it's the evolution glasses that are making me think, wow, it's an evolution, it must be good. But there's just something that often makes me want to have a try using a Glaceon. And I've used a Glaceon a few times and had a lot of fun with it. Of course, with it being able to tank special hits as well, it means that it can use Mirror Coat very, very effectively. Wobbuffet, eat your heart out. It's just a bit of a shame with Glaceon that it doesn't have more resistances, because that would really, really help it out. But maybe one day in the future, the Ice type might get a few more resistances. But until that day comes, I'm just going to appreciate Glaceon for what it is. It's a great looking Pokemon, it's effective in battle, and what more could you want for something in the middle of the list? Number 5, Mega Abomasnow. I, for one, really like Abomasnow, but the thing that I like more than Abomasnow is its Mega Evolution. It basically is everything that Abomasnow is supposed to be, has the Snow Warning ability, it's Grass and Ice type, it has great stats, except its stats, because it's a Mega, are even better than regular Abomasnow. It has more staying power than Abomasnow, it's got more firepower than Abomasnow, although don't use too much firepower, mate, or you'll melt. And on top of that, it looks so much cooler than Abomasnow. It's a great Ice type Pokemon. Ignore the 4 times weakness to fire. Everything I like is 4 times weak to something, except for the things that aren't, I suppose. The shiny form of this Pokemon is really cool because, of course, the green changes to blue, and I'm a real big sucker for blue shinies. But used right, Abomasnow can be a force to be reckoned with. It can deal out some disgusting damage if not taken care of quickly. The only thing I have to remember when I use it is to make sure we do something to try and reduce the fire damage that it's going to take. Guarantee it's going to take. And all in all, I think the appearance of this Pokemon is the most intriguing factor for me. Like, the thing that attracts me to this Pokemon the most is the fact that it just looks so cool, so scary, so intimidating. It's a great design for a Pokemon. Mega Abomasnow. You're alright, mate. Number 4, Alolan Sandslash. Now, whilst regular Sandslash is a cool Pokemon, Alolan Sandslash is even cooler. I'll just give you a minute to let that sink in. Jokes aside, I love that it gets Ice and Steel as a typing. Yes, it's 4 times weak to fire. Yes, it's 4 times weak to fighting, and that really sucks. But I just think it looks so amazing. Like, if you would have asked me to design Alolan Sandslash, I'd have had no idea what to do. But they took the Ice type, applied it to Sandslash, and did such a fantastic job with it. And also, I love what they did with its abilities. They literally mirrored Cantonian Sandslash's abilities into the Ice type, and it's really cool. So whereas regular Sandslash gets Sand Veil, Alolan Sandslash gets Snow Cloak, and they're basically the same abilities, except one is for Sandstorm, one is for Hailstorm. And then similarly, the hidden abilities, regular Sandslash gets Sand Rush, which increases its speed during a sandstorm, and Alolan Sandslash gets Slush Rush, which increases its speed during a hailstorm. It's amazing. It's just such a well-designed Pokemon, and I really appreciate the care that went into creating the new form of Sandslash. Like, I know some people are kind of torn on Alolan forms because it's all Kanto Pokemon and it's redesigns of Pokemon rather than brand new Pokemon, but when they're as effective as Alolan Sandslash, I really don't mind. Alolan Sandslash is awesome. Number 3, Walrein. I can't really spend too long talking about Walrein because there's not a lot to say. The reasons I like Walrein are just so simple. It looks really cool. They made a walrus look super duper cool. It's got great abilities in the form of thick fat or ice body, kind of ignore Oblivious. And on top of that, it's got decent bulk behind it while still being able to have a decent special attack stat as well, which is great. Add on the fact that it's water and ice, which is a great type combination that I really enjoy, and it's worked so well for so many other Pokemon as well, that Walrein is just the total package. It works really, really well. There's a couple of ice type Pokemon I like more than it, but definitely Walrein deserves a place in the top 3 just for being so cool in such a simple way. Number 2, Weavile. Now this little bastard is boss. Whilst Dark and Ice is not the best typing in the world, Weavile wins me over with its design, its speed, its attack, and its shiny form that's absolutely beautiful. You can deal a lot of damage with a Weavile in a short space of time, even if it's taken out very quickly on the field because of fighting type moves. It's certainly a Pokemon that has such an effective use. I guess the only downside to Weavile apart from its defenses are its abilities, because like Pickpocket and Pressure aren't the most exciting or interesting or even that useful abilities. Like, realistically, Pickpocket is the more effective of the two, but let's be real, if a Pokemon's attacking you with a move that makes contact, it's going to be a fighting type move. It's going to be close combat or high jump kick or something like that. You're not going to be alive long enough to steal the held item. It's just not worth it with a Pokemon that's that fragile. I never understand why they give Pokemon that are quite fragile abilities where they have to be hit by a move in order for the ability to activate, because it's just like, it's fragile. It's not going to survive long enough. It's very rare that that's going to be an effective ability for this Pokemon to have. So I guess we stick with Pressure, but Pressure's not that good either. But with those slight discrepancies aside, Weavile is definitely one of my favorite Ice-type Pokemon because I just love its design so much. I think it's a great Pokemon. It looks like a Pokemon. I say that a lot about a lot of Pokemon, but Weavile looks like a Pokemon. You can tell straight away that it's part of this franchise because it's such an effective design. And speaking of design, I know I've mentioned it already, but its shiny is absolutely fabulous. It's really, really cool. It's really, really striking, and it's such a good contrast between the regular and the shiny, and I love that about shiny Pokemon. Weavile is an absolute bonus, but it's not my favorite ice type. Number 1, Lapras. Now call it nostalgia glasses if you want, but I don't care. I love this Pokemon. This is my list at the end of the day. I've loved Lapras since the moment I saw it. It's just such a simple design for a Pokemon, yet so effective. Much like I was saying about Weavile, Lapras looks like a Pokemon while still maintaining the fact that it looks like a plesiosaur that it's based on. And from a battle perspective, it's great. It's got such good bulk behind it. It's got great abilities like Water Absorb. It's got a great move pool, and the fact that its attack and special attack are exactly the same base stat, it means you can build your Lapras kind of whatever way you want to. You can go full bulk, you can go physical attack, you can go special attack. I know some people are like physical attack, but I personally love to give my Lapras Dragon Dance and just try and use priority physical moves like Ice Shard to try and take down my opponents that way. Not always effective, but when it is, it's really frustrating for the opponent. All in all, Lapras is just so perfectly designed. It's a perfect example of, to me, a perfect Pokemon. It looks the way it should. It's designed for battle the way I feel it should be designed to battle. It looks like a bulky Pokemon and it battles like a bulky Pokemon. And of course, the lore behind it about it transporting humans from island to island and all that is fantastic. I loved it in the anime, especially during the Orange Islands arc, of course, taking Ash and friends everywhere. Just such a great Pokemon. There's not a bad word I can say about a Lapras. It's just a fantastic Pokemon, and that's why it's my favorite ice type. Of course, that's my list of my top 10 ice type Pokemon. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite ice type Pokemon are, and of course hit like if you've enjoyed this video. It really helps out the channel, and of course subscribe if you're new because I'd love to make more content for you. And if you would like to support the channel like these lovely names down here do, please pledge to my Patreon. The link's in the description. But until next time, my name's Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.